Hey there, Stampers. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Thanks so much for joining me again for Teach Me Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about masking, and I'm also going to be showing you a sneak peek of the Stamp of the Month card class that I'm doing, which I'm doing it live here on the Cape tomorrow night on Wednesday, but you can also get these kits to go, and I'll explain that a little bit more later in the video. But first, I wanted to share a little bit about the products I'm using, and then we're going to show you the masking technique. So I'm using some products from the Cool Treats suite, and I love that Stampin' Up! Does this and makes it really easy for us to make projects because it has all the coordinating products in one layout in the catalog. So you can make umpteen million projects with this suite. So I'm going to be using the stamp set and the framelits, which are here and here, as well as the paper, which is here. And I'll probably be using some of the other elements like the sprinkles and the washi tape on some of the other cards that I'm doing for this class, but for today that's what I'm using. So you can see the stamp set is here, really super cute, lots of potential with that. And then here is the adorable little cutouts as well. Lots and lots of fun to play with. So we're gonna go ahead and start. And actually, what I wanted to mention to you too is Stampin' Up! Just announced today that this paper actually now is a freebie offering for Sale-A-Bration. So if you spend $50, you get to select any of the Sale-A-Bration items or 7 new items that were released today that are in our current offering that you can also earn for free with a $50 order. So for instance, this bundle, if you buy the stamp set and the dies together, it's $48.50 for that bundle. And then so you throw in an ink pad or you throw in some washi tape or some cardstock or something else that coordinates with this suite and you hit $50, which means you can get the paper for free. So it's perfect timing for this because this is what I'm featuring in the Stamp of the Month class. So let's go ahead and show you how to do some masking. So this is the card that one of the cards that we're doing for Stamp of the Month. And Stamp of the Month class is really all about doing some techniques and learning some layering and a little bit more involved cards than what I do in card class. Those tend to be super simple and easy to mass produce. These have a little bit of more intricacy worked in. So that's what we're doing today. So first up, we have Watermelon Wonder cardstock, which this is 4 1/4 by 11 to make our card base. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half. That would be step 1 here. And, ooh, look, my bone folder is even handy. Let's go ahead and do that. Then, I'm going to take my Watermelon Wonder and my Watermelon Wonder cardstock. So Watermelon Ink, Watermelon Wonder cardstock, tone on tone, one of my favorite things to do. And I'm going to use this cute little dots image, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that randomly along the top and the bottom of my card base. And I'm not really sure how far I want to go, so I'm just going to do it down to there. And I'm going to do this down here as well. And again, if you've stamped with me at all or seen any of my other videos, you know that I often recommend that you do some stamping off the sides of the paper as well, because it just gives it a little bit more of a finished printed paper kind of feel. So that's that. Now I have this little blue piece, and when I had assembled all of the card, I just felt like this was too plain, so I decided I wanted some stripes. I thought that would look really cute, but I didn't have a striped ink pad, so I had to make my own. So I took my Pool Party marker, and we have 2 tips. We have the brush tip and the fine point tip, and I just literally drew in some haphazard lines to make my stripes. So you don't have to be really finicky about this at all. And if you don't have the Pool Party marker, because they are sold in sets, you can no longer get them individually. So if you don't have the set of Soft Subtles markers, which is where this came from, you can use another marker of some sort. Like we have a chalk marker, that would be cool. You could use that as your lines, and it would just be white lines instead of the tone-on-tone Pool Party. So that's another option. And that chalk marker, I believe, is only like $3.50, so it would be a great add-on to that bundle if you wanted to get the bundle and earn the paper for free. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that down like this. Next up is to do our little ice cream. So here's the finished one again. The first thing I did was I cut myself a little waffle cone bowl using the little dies. These are so much fun. Oh my gosh, look at all the little pieces. So I used this little waffle bowl, or that little bowl, and then I used the waffle paper to cut that out so that it looks like it's a little waffle bowl. And I'll show you. The paper is really fun. So this is some of the patterns that come in the paper. Again, this is the one that you can earn for free with a $50 order. What's really cool is these two here are specialty paper. So this is usually a $13 set of paper because it's got the clear embossing on these two. So you can get it for free with that $50 purchase. So that's the paper I'm using. So my first step was to stamp my first little ice cream scoop. So I'm using the Pool Party ink and the ice cream scoop stamp. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up. And actually, I'm going to put my catalog under here. The photopolymer stamps, especially the solid image ones where there's just a solid image, no line art, they tend to stamp better if you stamp with some cushioning underneath it. So either your stamping mat, your little piercing mat, or your protective mat that you have on your table, or even like I just did, your catalog will work as well. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. And I'm going to position this where I want it. Let me get it up where you can see it. I'm going to position it where I want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and carefully move the ice cream bowl out of my way and stamp the blue scoop of ice cream. Not really sure what color of blue that would be. Oh, look what happened here. Oh, bummer. Well, that one's got some dirtiness on it too, but we're going to go with it. So let me do that one more time. Careful not to catch the edge of my block. See if we can do this. Again, so I'm going to just go ahead and stamp this where I want it. Beautiful. Okay, so there's that. Now I do want to clean the stamp in between because I'm using the same stamp, and actually this is such a light image that I could probably just move on to the next color without any problem, but I'm just going to clean it for practicality's sake, for process, because that's the process you'd want to do. Next up is the Watermelon Wonder. So I'm going to take the Watermelon Wonder ink now, and because I want to stamp this image, but I don't want the Watermelon Wonder to overlap the blue, I'm actually going to mask this one. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take my little Post-it notes, and I'm going to stamp the ice cream, and I have the sticky part on the bottom because I want that to be able to stay put on the paper. So I'm going to stamp it close to the bottom so that the sticky is still under there. And then you would take your scissors and you would actually hand cut right around this image. And you want to make sure you're just on the outside of the image, not to go too far in, and you don't want to leave any border around it. Once you've done that, you get your cute little ice cream scoop Post-it, so it's a little sticky down the bottom here. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to cover up the image that I just stamped because I don't want that color to go over it. And I just got red on there too. Oh, bother. Not having a good stamping day apparently, but that's okay. We're going to run with it. I can cut it off or something later. So I want to put this back because I want to see where I want the bottom of this pink to go. So remember, this is my Post-it, and actually I want to cover this as well because I don't want the ink to overlap onto my cute little ice cream bowl. So I went ahead and I cut out another ice cream bowl here, and I'm going to go ahead, sorry that's really loud, but I don't have my hand to hold on to it. Okay, I'm going to ink up the pink, the Watermelon Wonder, and I'm going to line up where I want it to be, and I kind of have to, and actually, I'm going to move this one out of the way because it doesn't need to be there at all. I can just do this. Okay, so there's less layers. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this over those two masks. And go. And you can kind of see the, with this clear, you can, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but I can actually see the ink kind of transferring there. So I know it's good. Oops, I missed a little bit there, but we can cover that with the bowl, so it won't matter. So there's that layer. All right. And then I want to do one more layer on top. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stamp one more time. All right, and now I'm going to take the Peekaboo Peach, and this is a lighter color, so I want to make sure all that watermelon is off. Make sure all the edges are clean, and we're going to go ahead and grab Peekaboo Peach. Now this time, I don't necessarily need the bowl in place, but I do need another mask for this side, so I went ahead and cut out another mask, and now I'm going to go ahead and ink up the Peekaboo Peach. And we're going to overlay that right on top so that we get the third pile of ice cream. So here we go. Pull one off, pull two off, and now you can see we have our cute little pile of ice cream, and I can put this here, and there you have the lovely little bowl of ice cream. Isn't that cute? So I also took, just because it's so stinking cute, I took the little spoon. I cut it out with the silver foil. Whoops, sorry. The silver foil paper. So I just cut out a little spoon, and I used my glue dots to attach that before I attached the bowl. So you're going to go ahead and just place your spoon on top of that little glue dot, push down, and when you pull off, it comes off on the back. And I'm going to slip that right into the bowl so it kind of sticks out. And then I can go ahead and attach my waffle bowl here. And I don't want to cover the spoon too much, but it doesn't need to look like it's in the bowl. So we're going to do that. So there, I have that. Now, I wanted to add a little bit of the hot fudge, and I actually noticed that I did not have chocolate chip, so I had to use early espresso, which worked out fine. Chocolate chip is the one that's actually listed in the color combos for this sweet, but early espresso works wonderfully too. Now, you could, after I did this, I was like, oh, I probably could have put the mask on, so that it didn't drop into this ice cream cone. But I actually kind of like how it turned out, because it, you know, obviously it would go over all of the little scoops if you were doing this in real life. So I'm going to leave it again. And now this is going to be tricky, because I'm going to try not to get my head in the way. And cross our fingers. See how that works? Yeah, pretty good. All right. So there is that. Now I did want to ink the edges a little bit, just to kind of cut down the harshness of that white. And in this case, I can maybe cover up that little ink boo-boo a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just go all the way around. And I'm going to come in a little bit. Oops, sorry. So I can make an excuse to cover that little smudge. I'm going to go all the way around this. One of my favorite little techniques to do. So there's my little smudgy. So I'm going to go ahead. It's probably not going to cover it entirely, but it's okay. It's all good. They're all going to be drooling over my ice cream that they won't even notice my little smudge. All right. So once I've got that done, I can go ahead and mat it on the Peekaboo Peach. So this white piece is 2 3/4 by 3, and the Peekaboo is 3 by 3 1/4. And if you order the Stamp of the Month kits to go, I will send you this cardstock already pre-cut. So, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. Just want to finish my little card. So now that gets layered flat on top of here. And I do want to keep in mind, I want this to overlap this blue just a little bit, but I don't want to cover my bowl. So I'm going to position it right about here. So it's about maybe like a 1/2 inch or so over the pool party. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. And just because I could, in that little die cuts, we have the cute little cherry. So I'm going to add a cherry to the top of the sundae. And again, I used my glue dots, so you just go ahead, stick the cherry down on top of the glue dot, and then pull off, and it comes off on the back. And then I can stick that on the top here. Okay, almost finished. Last step is the birthday greeting, and I used the happiest birthday. You could use any of the stamps in there. If you needed a thank you card, you could do the "you're sweet" or "you're cool" or the "you're the cherry to my sundae." So there's lots of options with this stamp set. But I'm going to use happiest birthday because my customers tell me that's what they usually need the most. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. And I have found, oh, I did it good. I have found that these little sections in here like to transfer to the page pretty easily, but they don't wipe out very easily when you have ink on them, so because you can't get your finger in there. So the trick is really to press firmly, but don't CPR stamp. Don't really dig into it, because then all of those little bits will transfer. So when I did this, I literally just went down, I put some pressure on it, but I'm not pushing way in like I just did now. So see, although it actually didn't really matter, but the more you push into it, the more likely you are to transfer those little bits. All right, so then the final step for this is just to attach this to the card. And I did all of this flat just because I didn't really see a need for any popping in this case, so, which is shocking for me. So, oh, sorry, I keep pulling that out of your sight line. So there you go. And there you have the finished card. Super fun. It is a little bit more time involved, but so impressive when you can kind of see the pile of ice cream and nothing is overlapping. So that's really fun. Now, I promised you I would show you a couple of the other cards that I have made for Stamp of the Month class tomorrow. Here is another one. This one's really fun because it's got the two-tone stamping. So you've got the little stripes and the cute little indents from the popsicle and the really cute little highlight here, which makes it look more authentic. So there's that one. And then a third one that will be part of the class will be this one here. Super simple. This one uses most of the cutouts from the die cuts. So if you don't have the Big Shot, but you want to make these cards, if you do the kits, then I will send you these die cuts. Of course, if you have the Big Shot, you'll probably want them for yourself because the possibilities with this bundle are unending. It's amazing. These are so much fun to play with. So as I said, in order to receive my card kits for this suite, this Stamp of the Month, all you need to do is place an order in my online store of $35 or more. And like I said, if you do the $50, you can actually get one of the Cool Treats paper for free. So it's definitely worth it. Just buying the bundle itself is $48.50, so you'd hit it almost just with that. So these are 3 of the 5 cards that will be part of the Stamp Club of the Month, or not club, it's a Stamp of the Month class that I do live here on the Cape on Wednesday, tomorrow, March, what is the date tomorrow? March 22nd. That will be in Harwich. If you're not local to me, though, you can get these kits to go. Like I said, just place the order in my store and use the code that's in the description of this YouTube video, and then I'll know that you want these kits. There'll be 2 other cards, so you'll make 4 of the cards, and then the 5th card is my extra thank you card sample that I complete for you, but just send along with your kits, so you'll have yet another idea to use with these projects. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, and if you have any suggestions for Teach Me Tuesday, feel free to send them along to me at jenpitta@comcast.net, and I would absolutely love if you enjoyed this video, if you shared it with your friends on social media, or if you just subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you watching. Have a great week. See you next time. Bye.